Hey, what's up, guys? Jake here with the episode of On the Rise Music Podcast. Today, we are honored to a special guest, Jetty Santiago. I love your
Yes,
music,
sir. What's
man.
good
How you
with it?
doing?
Good. How are you, bro?
I'm chilling. Just trying to stay busy. All the stuff going on. You got to keep your mind busy.
I definitely feel you. Definitely got to keep something going on right now. Trying to figure out something with everything closed down to keep yourself active.
Exactly. With that being said, you working on stuff right now? You got anything you keeping under wraps, or just kind of just relax?
I have a project dropping this month called Santiago Summers. I don't have a release date for it yet, but it will be dropping this month in July. So I know we're just now getting into the new month. I can say that. But yeah, I have a new project dropping. I have a couple new videos dropping. I should have a lot of content going up this month. Getting back active.
Looking forward to it, man. What you're doing with the stuff you got out right now is, you're making waves. Like I really like the sound, and I can hear like a lot of different inspirations. Is there any artists in particular that you look at, or is it just that you have like a wide range of people that inspire you to push the sound that you have?
It's crazy. This man right here.
Yes, sir.
This man
Kanye
right here,
West.
big inspiration. She's a big inspiration. Lauryn Hill's a big
Yes, sir.
inspiration.
Yes, sir.
Jay-Z's a big inspiration. I get inspiration from Andre 3000. I draw it from all over the place because I just love music and anything that sounds good, and I just gravitate more so to the lyrics and the art of it. So that's what really stays with me. So I'm really inspired by the really top tier artists. I know Tupac's back there. I get inspired by him too. Tupac, Biggie.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
Just everybody taking the art form of the music serious. I don't like putting out like they call it microwave era music, where it's just I want my words to mean something to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I hear some of your stuff, and it sounds like mumble rap, but the words that you're saying and the stuff that like the messages you're putting in, it's like it's almost like backpack rap, but it's formed in a way where it sounds more appealing to what the music taste is right now. Is that what you're trying to do?
That's what I was going for, because I know like even with the artists that I came up with looking up to are like J. Cole, the Kendricks, Drakes. So when they were making music, especially Cole and Kendrick, sometimes people would be like, all right, well, they're always doing a message, but it's not any party music. You can only listen to it at certain times. I wanted to be able to combine what we have going on right now with the new sound of it, like the playful melodies, the playful flows and all that, but actually put lyrics and actually say something meaningful behind the lyrics.
Yeah, it's cool when you hear Young Thug rapping about like his big old chains and fucking bitches and like whipping lambs. But for the most part, there comes a point when you're like, this is like, it's the same stuff over and over again. Like, I'm no knock to Young Thug. Young Thug's a goat. What he's doing is great. But it gets to the point where you're like, every single rapper sounds like they're just rapping about the same exact thing. Like, I'm not connecting to it. I don't live
no doubt.
Drip out every day. I can just drop a band at like sax fifth or whatever. So exactly what you're saying and exactly what you're doing is like, it's really interesting. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really heard much or many people that have the same message that you do while still delivering it in very playful and, like you said, light flow.
Yeah. See that in what you were saying, I'll build on that, because it's like that's the thing I try to explain to people. It's cool to like rap about, I have this big chain, I have this car, I have all this, like all this stuff's needed and all this stuff's like there's a moment for every type of music, but you shouldn't feed yourself that all the time, because even like fans like it because it sounds cool, but how many fans can really, and regular people can really relate to just buying lamb and getting $100,000 chains, and it's leading people to an expectation that they should be doing all this stuff that they don't even like really need to be doing to be successful in life. It's just like a mirage that people get fall for.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I can't remember what J. Cole song it was. It was off of 2014 Forest Hills Drives, but he says the same exact thing. You can't be looking at what you see on TV is not how you actually supposed to live your life.
No.
So it was like the same message and everything. And
no role models, probably. No role models.
I think so. But it's interesting because you get people that rap about a conscious rap, like that are spitting facts, and they're saying stuff that's true and relevant to our society, except they do it in a way that is just like, it's clowned and it doesn't sound clean and fun. But what you're doing is like is like beautiful. Like you're getting a perfect blend of each, and you're
Appreciate you.
like, dude, it's like you're killing it. Like, I mean,
I appreciate you.
making numbers. Yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever you're doing it correctly. So don't fix what ain't broke. So
I appreciate you. I really think you go mess with the music and all the stuff that I have coming up soon that I'm releasing this month. It's gonna be amazing.
yeah, I'm excited. Are you working like with a team, or are you just producing and rapping?
So I do have a team, but my whole thing coming in was ownership and leverage, because I know I've had meetings with labels, and most of the meetings went, well, who makes your beats, who does this, and percentage. So my whole thing was getting into the back side of the music. Making music is fun and all that until you have to deal with the business part of it, and nobody wants to like really sit down and figure out the business part of it. So
Yeah,
when I sat down and looked at it, the way I can maximize doing everything I wanted to do, it was going to be for me to do everything. Because even when I was trying to have people do stuff for me, it was everybody's going to do stuff on their time. And if you want something like done in a timely manner, you have to do it when you want to. So that's when I learned how to produce. So I make all my own beats. I draw my own cover art.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and brought a camera, so I'm starting to shoot and be able to take my own photos. I'm starting to get a lot of stuff really self-moving. I'm really self-moving.
I mean, Kanye West does exactly that.
Yeah.
One of the big inspirations for you, and I mean, even for me. Exactly. Yeah, he just fashion, music, art,
fashion,
like
exactly.
everything,
fashion,
bro.
Music, art, just getting to everything, trying to get in every avenue, trying to find as many streams of incomes, many streams of revenue as possible.
Building off of that, where are you from? Like, is where you're from inspire the sound that you picked up, or is it just that you grew up like with a bunch of different sounds and a bunch of different artists?
Well, I grew up in Indianapolis. My mom's from Kentucky. My dad's from Indianapolis. I ended up moving to Indianapolis when I was like a real baby. So all my memories is in Indianapolis. That really doesn't inspire my sound. The music scene here is different. We have a different wave here than really what I'm on. But my dad used to do music, and he like listens to a whole bunch of old school music all the time, old school hip hop. So I wasn't really listening to like. Coming up, it was like Soulja Boy. When I was in middle school, it was Soulja Boy and all the dance eras, Laffy Taffy. I wasn't really listening to that. My dad had on Cameron, Dipset, all this stuff. So I'm getting an affinity for lyrics and all this stuff. And it just like, from that, it just grew from me wanting to study and know everything. Because if I get into something, I want to know everything about all the information of it. So even if I'll fall down a rabbit hole sometime, if I'm listening to a Kendrick Lamar song and he says a word that I don't know, I end up looking up what that word means. And then in the definition of that word, when it's showing the definition, it'll be like a word in the definition that I don't know. So I have to look that word up and just keep looking stuff up. And then I just got an affinity for doing that in different sounds. So, yeah.
What I find really interesting. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just going to say my mom used to play a whole bunch of old school music too. That's where I get the vibe from my samples and everything I do with my beats.
Okay. Yeah. What I find really interesting about that, what you said, that you just start studying, is that in order for you to be really good, you have to kind of be a student of whatever you do. And the more you study, the more you just, I mean, studying is practicing basically. So the more you study stuff, the more you practice stuff, the more you begin to like kind of embrace it and understand it. And then you can put it out like what I said, like what you're doing, like you're embracing the whole lyricism of everything. And you know it well enough that you're not delivering it in a way where people will ignore it. And it's like a way that where you can like those memes where it's like, oh, the lyrics of the song, and then it's like super depressed picture, or like a really like real picture, and then it's like the beat of the song and it's like super upbeat. So you're delivering a message to people that don't even realize you're delivering a message. And like that's where we have to be if we really want to use hip hop and bring back hip hop to what it used to be. Because like I took my dad was really big into hip hop when I was growing up, so he was listening to everybody like from the 80s and 90s. And I took like a hip hop class, and they talked about Funk Master Flex, all those old the OGs, and we were listening and analyzing the music, and it's like, okay, this stuff was being played at clubs, but also it's giving a message like society is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
we have everything is against us. No one wants to see us win. But people were still like just bumping to it. So it's like, that's really interesting. And I think we need, like, we're at the point in hip hop that I started noticing. I started telling a couple friends is that everything just sounds the same. Like nothing really sounds like there's any new flavor. You might get like one or two guys like 645 AR with the squeaky voice. Since 9-9, like with the white boy, the Times New Roman.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then for the most part, it's just one or two people that just do something small, and then they eventually. I mean, I'm not like they'll probably do something big, but I mean, eventually it's not sustainable because not a lot of people can pick up on it. So what you're doing, I feel like if you can like inspire more kids to do that, then the game will begin to change. It'll take another step forward.
Exactly. That's what my whole thing with it anyway, because I feel like there needs to be some balance. There's not any balance at all. It's just all the bullshit. There needs to be somebody that's telling reality. Like, we can't, like, it's good. Life is good, for instance. Life is good. Drake and Future are some of my favorite artists, but life isn't good right now. So it's like all this shit that they're rapping about. Like, I fuck with it, but there's a time and place. Like, there's certain music you're only supposed to fuck with when you're out turning up, when you're out at the club. You're not supposed to just consume this shit on a daily basis, and then everybody's mind ends up getting into this, like, the whole lean and Percocet pandemic we were on, when nobody was rapping about it, was really taking that shit. Yeah, now it's way worse. And then the biggest artists are the ones promoting the shit, and those are the people who have the most influence. So everybody's gonna gravitate. Well, shit, if my favorite artist is Papa Zans, this shit's cool. Well, why not? Let's get lit.
Yeah,
he's on.
I remember the moment I was like listening to, God, I don't remember who. I think it was Famous Dex, or it was Famous Dex, Playboy Cardi. I don't remember who it was, back in like 2017, like right out of high school, and I was all hearing, that was when like Zans were huge, and I was just hearing all this stuff about Zans, and I was like, oh, what's so bad about Xanax if all these guys are rapping about it? And it wasn't like I wanted to do it, but I was just like, why? Like, I have never heard anything negative about it. So what would like drive me away from it? And then I saw this video where it was talking about how like Xanax are an opiate, talking about like lean and everything, and I was just like, wow, I didn't realize that lean was liquid crack. Like, it's bad. I was hearing some horror stories from like I think it was Lil Duke, Lil Durk, when he was in prison, and they were just talking about like the evils of the opioid pandemic and how it like hits rap, but no one wants to acknowledge that it's an actual pandemic in rap, because
nobody wants to acknowledge that because
they're making money, they're cool,
making too much money, making too much money.
So no one wants to like say anything. So exactly, we can get you, and we can get you to inspire some more people. I mean, tell the truth, because I'm saying like Kanye West did it too. I mean, like, he's the GOAT, and we all know it. He was telling the truth, and he was still putting out club hits. So like, if you can, like, I know
even his new song, figuring out. Did you hear the new song that he dropped?
Was it Ego Death, or was
the one
it,
he just did with Travis Scott?
Wash Us in Blood.
Yeah, Wash Us in Blood.
Yeah.
So even in that song, he's still like, the message behind and everything he's saying is crazy, but he just the wave of how everything is in the world now, he just has to put it on a trap beat with some 808s.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you. I heard that song like a couple weeks ago.
You did? You
Reddit, bro.
You got plugged.
Reddit and my leak shit. I just love music too much. I can't just. There was a point back in like November, or no, not November. It was like from October to about like December, where I just couldn't listen to normal music, and I was just like scouring Reddit and like Leak This and all these websites just for like leaks and everything. So yeah, I mean, cool. I got the plug.
That's cool. I might need to let you go about that. I'll let you about that.
Hey, I got you. Hey, whoever needs it. I mean, like, I was messing with my friend. I was like, dude, I should, excuse me. I was like, I should just sell leaks. And I was like, because they're really difficult to, like, they're not difficult to come by, but if you don't know how to get them, then yeah, they are really difficult.
And then sometimes the leaks won't even come out on the actual records. They'll just stay.
Exactly. They just stay leaks. And what's crazy, I have so many Kanye West leaks, and I've heard so many different Kanye West leaks. And I listen to the music that he comes out with, like, that were like the samples or the demos. Dude, it's like, it makes me like love that man so much more, because you see like the creative process behind where he's going and
Yeah, his creative process is something crazy. Like even last year, it wasn't last year, 2 years ago when he was doing everybody's albums, for him to even sit there and be able to produce 6 albums for Good Music and 7 songs a piece he probably made, and they only released 7. They probably chose from 15.
Yeah.
So
he
he
definitely
said
had
that,
like 30 plus songs that he was just, and like uncompleted, that just straight beats.
yeah.
So it's like, and he was, dude, he's such a perfectionist. Like, yeah, I could talk about Kanye West all fucking day. I love that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Life of Pablo was the album that really got me in. That got me into fashion. That got me into music. That got me into everything, basically. Like, if I ever meet him, hopefully, like, if like shit were to work out with this like blog and everything, and I meet him, I'm gonna just be like, you may not know who I am, but Life of Pablo turned me into the person that I am today. Like, it's insane.
Just keep doing what you're doing. That shit'll work out. This is dope, and what you're doing is dope. Try to give a spotlight to artists who aren't there yet, that are trying to get there. It's dope. So you keep this going, it'll definitely get there. But that's definitely interesting, because the album that got me on him, Life of Pablo, is interesting. I got on him because of Yeezus.
Okay, dude, I just recently started like appreciating Yeezus, like within the last year.
See, yeah, Yeezus is his most slept on album. And I don't think people go back. I don't think people even go back to like listen to it, because it's all the sounds that people are using. He's basically doing rap EDM with a whole bunch of stuff. He's musically, he's crazy. He's on a different level.
I watched a documentary about that, and he was basically saying how he wanted to give you an album for what an album was, like collection of sounds that were just together, that just flowed together as an album. And I was listening to it, and I was like, he basically scaled back everything, went super industrial, and just put out an album. Although I did talk to some guy who was like a huge Death Grips fan, and he was like, oh, Kanye, like, yeah, Yeezus is cool and everything, but he just ripped off Death Grips, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, he did kind of give that like rap like genre and like that like subgenre of rap like a little bit of like a push forward to give them the name,
he definitely
to put them on.
The whole sound of today is 808s and heartbreaks.
Oh, definitely.
So
Abe or The Weeknd, Drake, like
Weeknd, Drake, even all the Travis.
Dude, Travis is a child of Kid Cudi and
Kanye West.
You can't tell me otherwise. Like my roommate and I were listening to old Travis leaks, and I was like, dude, is this Cudi? And he's like, no, it's just a Travis leak. I'm just like, damn, like I like, you could totally tell, which is like, yeah, I mean, it's like sick that Kanye is able to push people to do that, but
yeah, and it's all about it. Kanye just made people feel comfortable being themselves, talking about the stuff they want to talk about, because he'll just get on the track and say whatever's on his mind, but it'll be relevant, and it's always, even if it's not a shock factor to it, it always catches people's attention, because he doesn't, like, even what was the song, nobody would have made a song like he made the famous song on Life of Pablo. I feel like me and Taylor would still have sex. Why? I mean, nobody would do that.
No, everyone's too scared. They're like, that's too controversial. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about any of that. But that's why that's refreshing, somebody not being controlled by the system and the people at the top, and just doing and saying exactly what they feel. Even when he got on stage at the BET Awards, Beyonce had the best album. That's just somebody doing and saying exactly what they feel, not being controlled.
Definitely. I had a conversation with my sisters. They kind of fell out of his good graces, like when he started just speaking his mind about Trump and everything. But even then, like, what he was doing was a statement. He was basically saying, like, you don't have to be liberal if you're a person of color. You can say and do whatever you want. I mean, granted, he was supporting somebody that was like that was a symbol of like hate and a symbol of just oppression. But still, I mean, he could have gone about it a different way, of course. But I mean, he was just saying, like, why do I have to feel confined to what you tell me to be confined to? Like, I can do whatever I want. I'm my own human being. Like, I'm Kanye West.
It's all and he's like, a lot of stuff that he was saying was just going over people's head, because he's like, he doesn't even what he says, he'll just say it right out, but there's a way to say stuff to people that's digestible for them to understand it rather than just coming out straight brash and say it. Because some people,
definitely.
it wasn't, I don't feel like he was saying a lot. I don't think he was saying a lot of wrong things.
No, I agree.
Usually people will come out like, right now, everybody is getting back on Kanye's side, saying that he was doing the right thing because he's donating to George Floyd's family.
Yeah, he set up a
but
call.
he's always been the same. Yeah, he's been fighting for the same fight.
Definitely.
I'll
argue for him. I'll argue in his favor any single time. He's always for the people.
Oh yeah, it's for the people. Yeah, he's always for the people. He's always for the artists.
Now I understand that you've performed at like different cities and everything from like your own personal hometown, like going back to like your music career and everything. What was like the craziest show that you've ever performed at? And when was like, on top of that, like when was the first time you got to perform in front of a large audience?
The first time, the craziest. Okay, I'll answer the first time for large audience. Let me remember that first. That wasn't the first time because I was doing this shit in Vegas, and Vegas might have been the first time I got a really, really huge crowd, and that might have been one of the top performances. I opened up for Lil Boosie in Vegas, and that was a good situation. That was lit, and I was like 18. No, it was like when I was 19, so I wasn't even supposed to be in the club and shit. So that was really good. And then I think the other one, we opened up for Gunna. We did a show with Gunna back in,
That's what's up. That's crazy.
It was crazy. He came in 2018.
Right
after he dropped. It was
right after. That's right.
And it was he had blown up after that. It was like right before they dropped him and Baby dropped the collab.
Oh,
right
before. Damn.
Yeah, so that was a really, really big crowd. We had a lot of stuff going on. We really put on a show that night.
That's what's up. How did you land those? Like, was it did the artist reach out to you, or was it you were putting stuff out and you got in contact with someone that hooked you up?
Yeah, it's all relationships and people. Just knowing people who know people, because that's what the industry is anyway. It's just relationships. So just knowing the people. Sometimes you have to pay to play. Sometimes you don't have to. But in these situations, I just know somebody who could get me in these situations.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like 18, 19, showing up to were you getting hassled because you were like not of age, or were they just like, nah, don't worry about it, he's coming on?
They weren't tripping. They weren't tripping in Vegas. Surprisingly, they weren't tripping. They said, yeah, just because we told them that we was performing, that the people we came with, because we didn't just. This was back when I was really doing a group thing, working with another artist. So we were both like did the show together. We got a lot of songs together. So we got there. We both 19 years old. We get there. We're with older people and people who know the people on the club. So they get us in, tell them we're performing. But I thought they was going to be like strict on us and kick us out after performance. We got to chill in there and kick it. So it was cool. Yeah, that was lit.
You have anything like that coming up?
I don't know. We were supposed to have a lot of shows coming up, and we were going to be getting into schools doing a lot of stuff, but the COVID came, and we don't even know when stuff is going to be opening up to even allow shows again. I know festivals. They said festivals were done for
not till
a couple of years.
22, I think, or end of 21, or something like that.
Yeah, so we're trying to get some stuff in order right now, because I'm definitely trying to set up some shows for the project that I'm about to drop and going around and promoting this.
Have you had any, because you're doing numbers and everything and you're putting out hits, have you had any like people come out like out of the woodworks, like artists, whoever it may be, that were like, hey man, I want to collab, like if you ever want to hit me up, just send me a beat or whatever? Or are you just kind of just still doing stuff on your own and just trying to make a name for yourself?
So both. I have artists hit me up. I haven't even really let anybody know that I started producing yet. I wanted to keep that on the low, but fuck it. But yeah, I was supposed to We actually had Corey Guns down here a couple years ago.
Shit,
We were supposed to
okay.
do something, but I didn't even want to rush the song and just throw him on something. I wanted it to be something like we genuinely just got in the studio and cooked up, because we could have collabed on something. So I still have that connection. We still stay in touch. I might end up doing something with him, but I have a couple artists definitely for sure. But right now I'm trying to I've been focusing on getting my sound together and making sure that I own everything, because was the situation I had where I dropped music early, because I used to have more music out, but I had to take it down. I dropped music and didn't have everything that I needed copyrighted. I didn't own everything I needed to, so I had to take it down. And I've really been using like the last 2 years to get all of my business and everything in order, so I can start actually traveling and moving and doing stuff with it. Because I haven't even I could have been doing shows and traveling places, but I don't want to do all this stuff and then people ask where to go for music, and I only have a couple of songs out. So
because I was I was like a little like confused, because you like on your Spotify you only have like 3 songs and it's like less than 1,000 plays, and I was like, whoa, hold on, this like the numbers don't correlate, because I saw you had, and it was like 5 monthly listeners. No, it was 4, and then I started listening to you like the last couple of days, and then it went up to 5, and I was like, what the hell? I was confused. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it messed up. I had to take everything down and restart all of my profiles, and I haven't even put any music out or been able to promote how I wanted to. So it's about to start picking back up.
That's what's up. I mean, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure the fans are excited. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is there one person that you would like are looking forward to like hopefully getting into contact with and collabing with?
There's a couple people that I would want to collab with. I want to collab with Ye, of course. I want to collab with Andre 3000. I'd want to collab with West Side Gun. I don't know if you heard of them, Griselda.
Yeah. Yep.
I fuck with West Side Gun a lot. It's a couple artists that I really want to collab with, but I don't want to do it like just a lot of people just hopping on people's songs and doing Lucy verses and all this and leaving
5-minute verses. Yeah.
I want to actually cook something up together.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you mentioned West Side Gun. I mean, he's doing the same exact thing. Like the whole Griselda album, everyone on there. It's conscious, but again, it's catchy. It's relevant. And what was interesting is I was actually talking to a friend of mine about it, and I was like, dude, it sounds exactly like 90s hip hop, except there's like a more professional production that is like a quality of music that comes out today. And he was like, dude, it's really good. It's like that is definitely, you have to, it's like, cause it's got like the old New York taste, the old New York, like rap vibe and flow and everything. So it's a little bit more difficult for the younger kids to swallow. But I mean, it like what he's saying and everything that he's doing is like, so I mean, fuck, if you got him on a track, that'd be insane. That'd be like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying?
It'd be something crazy. Yeah.
All right, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Well, we could sit here, chop it up all day. I know you probably got something to do. You got some beats to make.
For sure.
You got somewhere to be. But I want to ask you one more question. Actually, 2. One more so is, who do you like? Is there any artists right now that you're working with or that you're like kind of helping out, mentoring, that you want to put on and give like a spotlight? Just shout them out here. What is one thing you would tell an artist like coming up, starting, that you would like that you want, like a piece of advice that you would tell them, like to keep hustling or whatever it may be?
Well, first of all, I would like to shout out to my whole team, the New Era team, VIP Watts, June 10th, Chris G, Samo. We got DJ Spud. We got AJ Miles. We're doing podcasts. So we got a lot. My whole team has a lot of stuff going on. It's a whole team just full of artists just collaborating and trying to help each other and go in and get each other there. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's a group. It's more of a like ASAP Mob situation where we're all separate artists, but we're just together as a collective doing everything together. So those are my peoples right there. And then I would, for artists coming up, the advice that I would give you is find your sound and know what you're worth. Know what you're worth. Figure out everything. Study everything, because it's a lot of intricacies to the music industry, and if you don't know something, you can end up in a deal you didn't want to end up in just because you didn't take the time. Like, it's not, if you want to do something, you can do it, but you just have to put the effort in to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like literally, I say that every day. You want something, you will do it. Like you're your biggest hindrance, but you're also your biggest motivator. So
Facts.
honestly, could not have said that better myself. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I want to
I
thank,
appreciate you having me.
of course. I want to thank our guest
dope.
Jetty Santiago. That's at Jet Stay High on Instagram. Look forward to his project, Santiago Summer, correct?
Yes, Santiago Summers.
Santiago Summer's coming out later this month. Like and subscribe this video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yeah. See you.